I promise you won't be disappointed. Welcome home. Welcome to Bay Area Living Channel, where we bring you the best place to live and what to do in Silicon Valley. Hi, my name is Casey. We are a team of realtors here in Silicon Valley. If you're thinking of moving out here, we'll love to help you find your home. If you're thinking of selling your home, give us an opportunity to interview with you. Okay, last week we talked about all the positive and all the good thing of living in the Bay Area. But it wouldn't be fair if we only talk about the positive. So here are some of the negative that I think if you're moving to the Bay Area, these are the things that you should take into your consideration. And I came up with 7 things. So let's go with the first one. Obviously, when you hear Bay Area, Silicon Valley, what do you hear? Expensive, right? And I'm not talking about housing. We're going to talk about that next. But I'm talking about everything. Living costs, everything, shopping. Just go get a coffee. It's just so expensive. It's so interesting that, my husband and I have been living in the Bay Area for, I would say, a long time, probably a little bit over maybe 12 years. And we think it's really normal, right? Because this is where we live. It's our home. We have several rentals in the East Coast and the Midwest. And in August, we were visiting one of our rentals. And my husband and I went to breakfast. And, I love to order everything at breakfast. So we went to breakfast. My husband ordered whatever that he wanted to order. And then I would have egg, bacon, and sausage, and then a side of pancakes, and then a coffee, pretty much everything that you can imagine. And then we would walk out of there with the bills of, I would say, $35. And I was so surprised because if that was in the Bay Area, that breakfast would easily be $100. I kid you not. It's crazy. If you are just going out to eat, like dinner, 2 people, each of you have a dish, easily $70, $80. And I'm talking about like casual restaurant that you can wear shorts and t-shirts, and you don't have to dress up for it. And it's still so expensive. And that is the reality of the Bay Area. Don't let me start it on Starbucks. If you go to Starbucks, 2 of you, my mom came to visit, and then we took her to Starbucks. So each of us have a coffee, and then each of us have a pastry. Actually, we got 2 pastry, and it was like $35. I just laughed. A lot of these prices, I just laughed because I cannot justify why it is so expensive to live here. And definitely my husband from the South in Kentucky, every year we go back for Christmas, and every time we go to the grocery store or any store, I'm just so amazed with the difference in prices and how much lower living costs in other places. Number 2 is housing shortage. And of course, with housing shortage come with a very expensive living cost and housing costs here in the Bay Area. And you hear it all the time on the news, right? Like houses here sell for $300 over asking, $500,000 over asking, or even $1 million over asking. Or a burned house would sell for $1 million, right? It's like a tear down, nobody can live in it, sell for $1 million. The land here is really, really expensive. And it's just because it's such a small and condensed area. We don't have a lot of land. We don't have a lot of new construction. So everything just so expensive. And then every year we have a large amount of demand for talents, for jobs, and people just keep moving in here. And supplies and demand, right? When you have very little supplies and you have a lot of demand, what's going to happen with housing market? It just go banana. So we cannot compare with the rest of the country when sometimes the rest of the country is super slow, but it is super busy. The housing market just super hot in the Bay Area, multiple offers, people are still buying and selling. And obviously last year, 2023, was a little bit different because the high interest rates And a lot of the seller or homeowners here in the Bay Area, they got really good rates, right? 2.5, 3.5. A lot of them are free of mortgage. They've been here for a long time, retirees, and they're not moving anywhere. If they're moving either to the East Coast, Midwest, or somewhere cheaper, they still have to pay the 7 to 8% interest rate. So nobody was selling that, make the market super slow. But what I see is 6%, it's a sweet spot for a buyer to purchase. So when the interest rate hits 6%, the market just get really, really hot again. Number 3, please don't laugh, bad drivers. Oh my goodness. I love the diversity in the Bay Area, but we have so many bad drivers. And during the weekend, if you go shopping at Side Shopping Plaza, in the parking lot is always a nightmare. People just, for some reason, they don't know how to drive here. And the funny thing is, they drive really, really fancy cars here, and they still don't know how to drive. And my husband and I has a joke, and we have a lot of Tesla because, Tesla factories here, and it's an electric car, blah, blah, blah. We don't have a Tesla, but we see the worst drivers almost always are Tesla's drivers. I'm so sorry if you have a Tesla. You're probably a very good driver, but what we see in the Bay Area, Tesla drivers are a terrible driver. And we usually joke, like, you have a self-driving car and you don't even know how to drive. Anyways, number 4, terrible roads. Oh my goodness. We pay so much in taxes here, and literally you get taxed. If you're living, you probably get taxed for breathing and walking outside. I don't know. But we have such bad roads. And when we moved here, I would say 10, 12 years ago, there's a major freeway called 101. And it was under construction for over 10 years. And they actually just finished it probably 1 or 2 years ago, but it's already bad again. So they probably have to redo it again. Anyway, so watch out for these bad roads when you're moving to the Bay Area. Number 5, and I think this is just, again, our opinion of living in a lot of different community, is lack of community. What does that mean? We have a lot of young people, young tech workers working and living here in the Bay Area. When you live in a complex or in a neighborhood, there's just no sense of community. What does that mean? People just stay inside their home, they go to work, or they do their activities. They never really get to know their neighbors. The funny thing, when we move into this neighborhood, and I think this neighborhood considers an older neighborhood because we have a lot of people that are living here for 20, 30, 40 plus years. We did have a housewarming party for the neighbors. So we invite, all the neighbors on our street over to our home. And it's funny that the guy to our left have never met the guy to our right. And they've been living here for probably 10 plus years. Isn't that crazy? Number 6 is, this is what I see, being in real estate business and also seeing a lot of my clients in tech, that keeping up with the Joneses. So in the Bay Area, it's all about RSU stock. It's all about, the next promotion, the next job, the next house, the next beautiful neighborhood, the next new car that you can purchase or get in. And I honestly think it gets old a little bit. I know this problem is pretty much a real problem in LA, Los Angeles, but I start seeing it here in the Bay Area as well. So number 7 is, I put a question mark because it is my question to you. If you're planning to move out here to the Bay Area, if you live here for a couple of years, you're probably going to wonder if there's quality of life. And I wonder that sometime. I know we have really good weather. I know we have really good food. I know we have amazing opportunities to make money. But then, do we really have quality of life? And I think I'm at the time in my life where money and quality of life doesn't go hand in hand together. The more money you make, it really depends on what you do with that money. I don't think it will bring you amazing quality of life if you make a lot of money and you're just at the office all the time, never see your kids, never see your family. So these are the 7 things that I think that negative to move out here to the Bay Area. You can make your own judgment. Thank you for watching.